Paltrocast.
Marc, how's your day going aside from talking to media people today?
Hey, Darren, it's going pretty well. I'm having my third cup of coffee here, so I'll be awake in about maybe half an hour or so. How are you doing?
Nonstop but good, and a pleasure to be speaking with you. Can I start this off with a compliment, or are you done for the day?
I'm sorry, do this again? A
Can
complimentary.
I compliment, or are you maxed out for the day? No more compliments.
What am I'm sorry, I'm not following. Maybe I'm not awake yet. Do it again.
That's okay. That's okay. Bottom line is, I'm going to give you a compliment, and that's if Marc Singer was in something, odds are it's going to get rebooted. You have such a track record for appearing in something and it goes great at the time, and then decades later, people go, "That was pretty cool. Let's bring that back."
I
So
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
so odds are Agent Recon is going to be redone or rebooted in about 20 years. That's what I'm saying.
It certainly is a franchise that has legs, as they say. It's I can see it in many forms. Yeah, and as a franchise going forward. Um, it's interesting about the film industry, isn't it? How that is that something from the distant past will come back again. I watched as a kid. I watched The Twilight Zone,
Mhm.
uh, and then one day later in life, I found myself acting on The Twilight Zone. Um, what goes around keeps going around in this case. Yeah.
Yeah, so Twilight Zone and Dallas and V and Beastmaster and Hawaii Five O. If you're in it, it gets remade. So anyway, Agent Recon. When I was speaking with Derek a couple of days ago, he mentioned how in awe he was of your background in martial arts, etc. What got you into martial arts in the first place? Was it self-defense?
As a practical matter, I came from a family of musicians, and martial arts is a pretty far cry from the performing arts in that sense. I just wanted to be a more complete human being. I know there's violence in the world. I'm not looking to prove myself, and I'm not looking to participate in violence as a recreational sport. I just wanted to be able to speak the language and make a declaration and stand by it whenever that was called for, depending on what circumstances arrived. Um, the martial arts, in particular, Kung Fu, and studied at the Seattle Kung Fu Club under Master John Leong, was the answer that I sought and found there. And what I didn't realize at the time
Mhm.
uh, was the lifelong lasting effect of this undertaking. And I have to say that without that, I doubt that I could have enjoyed the creative uh, life that I have. It's foundational to my everyday and to my creative world as well.
I see a guitar behind you. I didn't know about your musical background. Uh,
Oh,
do you still play these days?
oh, sure, yeah, yeah. Aside from when I'm not making movies like Agent Recon and firing guns and jumping off of buildings and beating up the bad guys or being beaten up by the bad guys. Um, yeah, I'm a writer every day. I compose on the piano and on the guitar, and I I have other creative outlets, and music is one of them.
But to be clear, no relation to Eric Singer from the band Kiss.
No,
No, I know that's his fake last name. So he wanted to be a singer. He's not a singer. You're a real singer, Marc Singer. But anyway, Agent Recon brings Chuck out of retirement from film, his first film in over 10 years. Had you known Chuck prior to doing this film?
I I had met him back in the day at differing black tie events that the industry might host now and again.
Hmm.
Uh, but we hadn't formed any kind of working relationship or personal relationship. It's a big industry on the one hand, it's an intimate industry on the other. So we were aware of each other. And I have to say, when I met him this time, and got a chance to work with him. This was the first time I got to measure the man up close in a much more intimate and personal way, because when you're acting on screen with somebody, it's all a matter of give and take. It's all a matter of transaction between the two of you, how you interact. And I say this without reserve. He, in my opinion, is one of the sweetest guys. He was such a gentle man and such a gentleman, and was so enthusiastic about working in front of the camera that he set the bar higher than I guess I had expected. And yet, when I think about it now, why not? Of course, that would be the case. You know, Hollywood is mostly Hollywood. I use that as a generic term for all filmmaking or even theatrical productions on the live stage. You know, acting is a very, for the most part, a very generous and warm-hearted community. Actors within it. We all understand the difficulty of the profession and how hard it is to bring things forward, and we stand together unified in a kind of emotional bond, and I certainly felt that from him.
Glad to hear that. Last question before I let you go. Agent Recon is a new movie to us,
Right.
but movies take years to make. Are we allowed to know where we're going to see you next, or do we just have to follow you on Instagram to find out?
There in this industry as well, nothing is real until it's real.
Right.
And so if I were to mention something and it didn't come to fruition, I would be remiss. So I will just say, stay tuned.
Okay. Well, the bottom line is congrats on Agent Recon. Looking forward to what's to come, whether you're a musician, an actor, a martial arts expert, whatever it is, Marc. Thank you for the decades of great art and entertainment.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. And maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Paltrocast.